And welcome to another exciting episode of the Super Banter Brothers. I am your co-host, uh, Senor Donut. Almost outed my real name. Holy crap! Wow, man, we have had nothing but just really weird technical issues at the beginning of our podcast where we had to
All
re-record it
morning.
all morning. We've just had these weird issues, and I'm just like, yeah. I had this whole cool intro plan that was going to be related to our topic, and it just, yeah,
You
the
you might
best
you
laid
might even say
plans.
the developers of this episode kind of, glitched out because we
There
needed
you
a
go.
soft reboot.
Oh
And,
my god.
I am your co-host of the co-hosts. That would make me a co-co-host, I guess. Grant Patrizio, good to be here. And
Glad, glad.
and and before we jump into our topic, which I tried to make a pun out of, let's do the usual bit here on the Banter Bros, the Super Banter Bros. My favorite donut. Have you been playing anything? What has been going on in your world?
I've been playing a lot, honestly. I have been playing off stream a couple of different games. There's this game from the makers of Vampire Survivor um, that is out there that is called Vampire Crawlers. And it is a
Ooh.
dungeon crawler game that has you picking up cards, that have point tallies on it. It's kind of like a roguelike deck builder dungeon crawler game,
Hmm.
which is very cool, very like it scratches the itch, honestly. Like just finding out like these game breaking combos and everything. That's very, very fun. Um, I've played a couple of games where I literally because there's this mechanic in it. If you use the same card multiple times,
Mhm.
what'll happen is the card will break. And once the card breaks, the the system adds another enemy to the tally. So when you get to the end of your level, you're encountered by death, right? And death comes at you and hits you with like, massive damage that usually takes you out in a hit. But if you if you start fighting death and you are surviving the encounter, uh because your turn just keeps on going, then your cards will eventually break. And once the card breaks, it resets your turn, but there's now another death added, like another enemy death to the
Hmm.
encounter. Um, yeah, it was a ridiculous game where I was basically fighting off 5 different versions of death, and yeah, it was very fun, very hectic. Highly recommend the game. Um, and also I've been kind of on a like old school kick, like a retro kick.
Okay.
So I have been playing The Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. Um,
Ooh.
and I'm now in the Dark World and have gotten the third princess. And am looking to get the fourth in the town of, bandits in the Dark World.
Nice.
So, working on that. On stream, I've been playing some, mostly collaborations, honestly. The past 2 weeks have been full of nothing but collaboration streams with, Kevo Loco 5, Kiora of Mist, Lils the Gamer, 1, Asha God, the Chronic Chaos, Plazan Hook, just like a bunch of different people playing these games. Oh, and Slonko Bomb, of course. How could I forget about Slonko Bomb? All of these are other Twitch streamers that I have forged relationships with, and with Ashigad, Kevo Loco 5, and Slonko Bomb, we are playing through a story mode campaign of Dokapon Kingdom, which I've talked about in the past. Um,
I saw some of that one.
yeah, that game is still going on. Um, and we have reached a point in the game where the game crashed on us during a pivotal moment where a ton of different choices were made. And in that game, we made a commitment to keep the timeline intact, meaning that we would make the same exact choices if something like that were to happen.
Oh man.
So we took a screenshot and hopefully we will, play it out how it's supposed to play it out, how it's supposed to be played out from there. Um, but that game is going really well. I'm still in the lead, have been in the lead since the first episode, but we all know
Nice.
that that can change. That can change
Yep.
at the drop of a hat.
Or the
Um,
roll of a dice in this
or
case.
the roll of a dice. And Slonko is back at it with another run of the Darkling
Oh boy.
happening
Oh
very
boy.
soon. So we'll see how that goes. Um, where I'm also doing a Soul Link Nuzlocke with my homie Ashagod. We are playing through Sword and Shield. I'm playing Shield, he's playing Sword, and we have beat our first gym leader. Um,
Nice.
almost lost, we lost a few Pokemon, not gonna lie. But
Having
we
seen the death box, a few is a good way to put it.
So we're working our way through that. Our next challenge is going to be taking on the second gym leader, which is a water type Nessa. So
Yup.
we'll see how that goes.
I
And
think you'll
then
be fine, and I think Asha might have some trouble.
we'll
I
find
think
out.
you'll
We'll
be
find
fine.
out. We'll find out. Cause yeah, there's a chance for any and everything to happen on that.
That's
And then
true.
we played this awesome demo of a game called Another Door, which is um a roguelike multiplayer game where friendship, betrayal, and trust go hand in hand. It's not a game that you would probably like. Um,
As soon as you said betrayal go hand in hand with friendship and trust, yeah, probably, but please
yeah,
continue.
uh, very very fun game. It's in demo right now. I did a recording of it before it was officially announced. And then I actually did a stream with Plaza and Hook, Lils the Gamer One, and the Chronic Chaos. We had a great time. Like I was only planning to play like a game or two. We ended up playing like three, and it was a very
Nice.
fun game. It's one of those things that's right down my alley. Really enjoy those kind of things. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. What about you? What have you been playing?
Honestly, I've just been sticking to my comfort games lately. Outside of the gaming sphere, outside of the podcast, I've just kind of been life has been taking its course on you boy here, so I've just been sticking to the comfort stuff.
Fair.
Acecraft's Sky Hero came back online, so I've been doing that. Continuing Pokopia, almost completed the Pokedex. Uh, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds just to tool around and get those dopamine hits.
Hmm.
I I beat Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness on the
Oh,
GameCube
nice.
through the power of save scumming because the last trainer had two battles featuring four legendaries among them, and I'm just like, I have one Master Ball and four legendaries to snag from this guy. So, yeah, modern conveniences don't fail me now. Uh it was a fun game. I don't think I would have approached it with as much fun without the modern convenience of save states, not gonna lie.
Did you play
Um
this game before, or was this your
no.
first time?
This was my first time experiencing
Oh,
Pokemon
wow.
XD. Yeah. I played the prequel Pokemon Coliseum on the GameCube when I was a real small fry when the GameCube first came out. Um there were no legendaries to snag, if I remember correctly. And
Mhm.
each trainer only had one, maybe two Pokemon to snag, which made it easier to manage. Now you get trainers with anywhere from two to six Pokemon to snag. They're at random points in the battle, and you don't know what's coming until it's quite literally thrown at you. So I'm just
Mm.
like, wish I could save mid battle to do this. Oh, wait, I can. Um, so yeah, that's That's really all I've been playing. But it has been fun stuff. And hopefully a lot of what we're talking about today when it comes out will start to fill that void.
And if you haven't gotten it by now, what we are talking about, what our topic is today is the not E3 that happened this summer. We had a lot of different gaming presentations, starting with, I want to say the Latin American Game Showcase was the first one,
Hmm.
or it was either that or the State of Play from PlayStation.
Let's
Um,
see. According to what I have up, Latin American Games Showcase was June 4th. State of Play was first. That was June 2nd.
mm,
Then
okay,
Latin America Games Showcase was June 4th. Then I want to say Summer Games Fest was on the 6th.
I believe so. And then right after that was Day of the Dev, like pretty much following it immediately.
Yep.
And then after that was
I know the
the
Future Games show.
Xbox. I think
There was
Xbox games was afterwards.
and then like Future Games Show and Xbox were around the same time. I
Mhm,
don't
mhm.
remember when off the top of my head, but most recently, I want to say, was a Nintendo Direct.
Yes. The Nintendo Direct came after all of the other things happened, and it's like, "Okay, cool." Um, so we're gonna be diving into a lot of the different announcements that were made in those things.
And
Um
and bear in mind, these episodes do have loose time limits between 60 and 120 minutes, meaning 1 to 2 hours. If there is, and there is a chance that we do not cover your favorite announcement in this episode, or if there is something that we cover that you want to expound upon, please leave a comment, engage, do the things. Let us know what we missed. Tell us your favorite announcements as we go through some of our highlights because there are a ton in this, what I am calling E3 Digital Deluxe Edition. Because let's face it, that's what it was.
plus Sonic and Knuckles.
Don't even get me on Sonic. He was featured at Summer Games Fest. He was featured, okay? He was featured in a way that might make you even proud. So don't get me started.
So, which one do you wanna start with? There's so many of them.
I mean, do we just go in order or do I actually start with Sonic at Summer Games Fest since I made that segue? Um all
Up
right,
to you.
I guess we're doing Summer Games Fest first because of the segue.
Okay.
Um but yeah, major announcements there that I dug. Final Fantasy VII Revelation part 3 of the remake trilogy. We got
Yep.
a title, we got a release date, we got gameplay footage, including a fit system, which is their take on a job system finally being introduced. So Cloud can be
Mhm.
like a swordsman black mage.
Yep.
Love what I saw there. Continuing the Final Fantasy love, we got Street Fighter 6 Year 4 DLC, where they're just throwing Tifa in there among other final or Street Fighter favorites.
Mhm.
Um, Pokemon fans celebrate. Beware, I'm not sure because Pal World is officially getting launched at in 1.0 in July.
No, dude,
Um,
our our friend Ashigod's like, "Fuck Pal World." Like, he saw the announcement, like, 'cause I was watching one of the announcements with him. It wasn't the State of Play, it was that one that we were just talking about.
Summer
He
Games
was like,
Fest, yeah.
yeah, he was like, "Dude, fuck this, I hate Pal World. Look at the designs, clearly ripped off Pokemon," and I'm like, "Alright, Nintendo or Game Freak, you know, fan who hates everything that's trying to create upon or expound upon his Pokemon universe."
Like
What are your
Ashigad is
feelings on it? What are
I
your feelings
mean,
on it?
on the one hand, it's like, could the creatures use a little bit more originality in their designs in some cases? Maybe, but like practically every bit of art can be described as iterative or slowly iterating on something that already exists, a bit of a
Mhm.
remix, if you will. And the other concepts in Pal World being like having a game where you capture creatures, battle them that way, where it also includes firearms and base building in the same game. That is not a specific combination Pokemon has done before.
Mm-mm.
Pokemon has those mechanics, sans the firearms, across their games, especially
Mhm.
Pokopia, which we'll touch on later.
Yep.
Um, but I just haven't played it because I don't know how I feel about the firearms thing. I'm not much of a guns guy in my games if it's like a primary mechanic. But I do like the fact that there is a more open world Pokemon game where you can build your own places. You can basically have them work as resource farmers for you, give them a place to live. I like it. I like the fact that it's all in one game.
Mhm.
I do like the fact that some of the designs are a little familiar, but at the same time, I do think some could afford to be not quite as directly inspired, I will say.
Yeah.
Um, but I've mostly been holding back because I wanted to see how all of the legal litigation has been going between Palworld and Nintendo because of all the courtroom drama. And now that it's like, oh, Palworld is moving into 1.0 official release, uh seems like they won something. Um Maybe I'll wait for official reviews and try it out. Who knows?
Mm.
Um like with Pokemon, I want to see Pokemon try to take Pal World sized risks or Pal World sized leaps in creativity with their franchise. Cuz I love it to bits. But like I said at the top of the episode, if I have to use modern conveniences to play through Pokemon XD just to experience the game in a way that wasn't eternally frustrating, I feel like as the largest multimedia company in the world, Pokemon could stand maybe to try a little bit more on a grander scale, I think. But that's That's just me. And a lot of the internet, I'm sure. And all of this comes from somebody who will inevitably, lovingly buy Winds and Waves when it comes out. If Coliseum comes out on the virtual console, I will play that to bits. I've already bought the aforementioned Pokopia thing we're going to come back to later because I'm a shill and proud of it. But it's like, I want to see it succeed. And if Power World is like, hey, we have ideas and we love your mechanics and we were inspired by you, maybe Pokemon should take that as, oh shoot, we got work to do.
Yes, I strongly believe in the whole iron, or steel temper steel mentality where you can't have, this game on top, right? Like the Pokemon franchise. This game has been, hey, you want creatures to catch them, train them, and battle them? We got you. We've been doing this for, 30 years now. We're the best at it. And you're like, okay, cool. Show me something new. Nah, we're good. We're just going to give you the same shit we've been giving you this entire time. And you're going to like it because we got you hook, line, and sinker. Like, that is exactly what Pokemon has been doing, adding tiny little improvements and not even the ones that fans have been clamoring for, you know? And people still fucking buy them because, like you said, you're a fucking shill. That's it. Like,
And it's like, and I in this case, I don't even use shill as a bad word. Like, I would gladly support Pokemon because it's one of my favorite series. Like, I support, like, to go on a tangent and segue into another announcement to get us back on track. Same thing with Sonic. I bought
mhm,
2 copies of Sonic '06 back in its heyday, and that was a game that literally almost killed the franchise. So it's like I want to see that franchise succeed. So I'm going to do what I can to help it succeed, even if it's just give it my money. But but speaking of Sonic, Crossworlds had a presence at Summer Games Fest where the TMNT DLC, we finally got to see it in action, and it drops next month. And the Avatar The Last Airbender DLC, we finally got to see it in action. It drops in October. And they announced a year two of Crossworld DLC, where it revealed we're getting a Godzilla track and a collaboration with Neon Genesis Evangelion with a track,
That
a
was
character, and a cart.
fucking wild.
I know.
So fucking just out of left field.
Get in
Almost.
Shinji, get in the car.
Jesus Christ. Almost as fucking wild as the Stranger Than Heaven game from RGG Studios,
Oh my god, I was gonna get to that
Ryuga
later.
Gotoku Studios, I think that's how it's pronounced, but I've
Yeah.
completely, they've done it RGG Studios now because people can't fucking pronounce their normal studio name. They have fucking Snoop Dogg and fucking
Tu-
digital version of
Digital
Tupac.
Tupac Shakur.
Yes.
How?
They apparently asked the family and asked the estate, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, let's make money off of our dead homie," like, "Yeah, sure." I don't know, man. I don't like the whole, like, "Hey, we're gonna bring back this person." I'm a huge Tupac fan, love all of his music. Um but I don't know, I feel like I don't think Tupac would want this, but maybe he would. I don't fucking know the guy personally, I never knew him personally, but, when you bring back someone from the dead and you use AI to manipulate his voice and do different things like that, that just I don't know, it seems tasteless to me.
The only way I'm with you on that. The only way it would land as tasteful to me is if the actor themselves, or if the person themselves, I say actor because of the example I'm about to present.
And they were also
Um,
an actor.
oh, touche. Um, but if the actor in question, uh, comes out and says that that's what they're going to do and they want to allow it, then okay, it's their choice. Respect it. James Earl Jones did that. And he came out and said he's going to, I believe it was strictly with Disney, he's going
Mhm,
to allow Disney to use archives of his voice for AI trainings for the likes of maybe Vader and Mufasa. If those characters need to be kept alive, his voice, now that he has passed on, he allowed to be manipulated for those purposes.
mhm.
But yeah, that's the only example I can think of where it's like AI bringing someone back, AI using Monster Reborn on someone, for lack of a better phrase, and having them reappear after they have passed away.
Did
Yes,
you just
AI.
fucking use a fucking Pokemon or a Yu-Gi-Oh reference
Yes,
for
I
this
did.
thing that we're talking about?
Yes, I did. AI used Monster Reborn.
Oh my god. Wow.
Token breaking the donut episode. I hope
Wow.
it was a good. I hope that's a good wow. Is all I can say. Anyway,
All I need for you is to do the fucking "I use Monster Reborn," in attack or whatever the fucking thing is.
okay. So what would the exact line be? We can maybe save that for the end. Keep thinking about it. Um. Anyway, back to more announcements from Summer Games Fest. We brought up TMNT earlier in the context of the Sonic crossover. TMNT: The Last Ronin got an announcement sneak preview trailer being developed by Platinum Games. So
Mhm.
we know the action's going to be great because they never
I'm
fail there.
super excited about that. I love the Ninja Turtles. I love The Last Ronin, the storyline of The Last Ronin. Have you read it at all?
I haven't. I For Ninja Turtles, I it is strictly I have gotten into whatever the cartoons have covered.
Okay.
Um
Uh I see. I can't talk too much about it because I don't wanna ruin it for anybody because The Last Ronin is such a good story by itself. I'd heard, rumblings like, "Oh, they're gonna make a movie, they're gonna make an animated movie, they're gonna make a live action movie," but I didn't know that they were gonna make a game. That's awesome. I really am excited to see how that's gonna go as well.
Let's see. I mean, I am too. And again, it's a Platinum Games action game. You know the
Mhm.
gameplay is going to be slick regardless.
What other
Um
games did they do? Because the name sounds
uh,
familiar to me,
oh,
but I'm not
Platinum
100.
Games. Platinum Games are the ones behind Bayonetta. The
Okay, yeah,
entire
that's
Bayonetta
why it sounds
trilogy.
familiar.
They're behind Mad World on the Wii, which is how they got their start.
Oh, is that
They're
black and white?
Yep, yep,
Yeah, that was such a cool stylistic game. I love that.
yep. They were behind that one.
Mhm,
They were
mhm.
behind, I want to say, Wonderful 101, if you
Oh, yeah,
remember.
yeah, 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 yeah. I remember that game.
Yep, Platinum was behind that one as well. They know what they are doing when it comes to those sorts of action games. No
Mm,
matter
mm.
the special battle gimmick or like
Mhm.
the way they zhuzh up the combat, they know what to do.
Yeah.
So we'll probably be getting such off the wall katana and or nunchuck combos that the TMNT will never look as badass again. From a gameplay standpoint at least. Um Let's see. Other highlights for me from Summer Games Fest. Cuphead got a couple of announcements. There's a sequel in the works and a throwback 8-bit game that plays kind of like the old classic Mega Men.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, Resident Evil Veronica, the Code Veronica remake, got a lot of fanfare. Uh, Monst
Can we talk about that one real quick? Because like, that's a huge fucking deal. Like, Resident Evil Code Veronica was one of those games that, appeared on the Dreamcast, right? It was one of their launch titles, I believe. I mean, quote me if I'm wrong, or correct me if I'm wrong, but, that game in
you
itself
let
has
him
had
quote him if he's wrong. Anyway,
that game has had, I don't think it's ever had a remake of it or a remaster. It
I don't
hasn't
think so.
gotten it hasn't gotten the RE4 treatment that, for some reason it got so much more, remasters, remakes, re-releases, but Code Veronica, nah, they didn't do any of that with that game.
I mean, it's Leon Kennedy. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
The
but, like,
fans love their Leon Kennedy.
it's just sucks that, like, hey, out of Claire Redfield, which was, Chris Redfield's sister, and Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 2, Leon Kennedy rose to fucking stardom while Claire Redfield, was eating the crumbs left at the table, you know? Like, come on, give some love to Claire Redfield. She deserves it. She earned her fucking flowers in that fucking game too, you know?
Yeah,
So I'm very happy that they have decided to remake that game for current consoles. And it was funny because there was somebody who on one of the social medias had a picture of his grandma in like a cage, and it said uh grandma's in the cage until Resident Evil Code Veronica is released, and then they show a picture like, day whatever, uh, grandma is released finally because it's
Code
finally been
Veronica's
released.
released.
Exactly. And then Capcom answered, this game's coming out in November. Get back in the cage, grandma, or something like that.
Oh my god! Capcom
Bro,
got the Wendy's on that meme. Jesus.
so funny, man.
Oh my god. Like, even if it is E3 Digital Deluxe Edition, E3 season will always have this kind of impact. Like, it's oh man, just so much to cover. Um
Did you have
Speaking
anything else from Summer Game Fest that caught your eye?
Monster Hunter Wilds is getting their expansion, Ascendance, sometime next
Did
year.
you play the first one?
I mm, I have seen people play it. It looks like so much fun, but my equivalent of that game, of a Monster Hunter game, that big of a world, that big of a
Mhm,
time sink,
mhm.
it's in the form of Xenoblade Chronicles, that series on Nintendo. And trust me, when we get to the direct, we'll get to those.
Sure.
Because like yeah, I've fallen in love with that series very briefly. I played all of 3 like in several long sittings to the point where my partner is like, Babe, as long as I have known you, I don't think I have seen you sit down for like 6 hours and just want to play a game. This is like the first time. For a second
Wow.
there, I thought you lost your gamer card and I thought you were lying to me. And I'm like, even though I stream, even though I obsess over Sonic and Kingdom Hearts, because I can't sit down for 6 hours straight and play a game, I'm not a gamer. Well, I guess I'm glad I quashed those rumors. Um, but yeah, it look Monster Hunter Wilds looks incredible. It's I'm sure it's been an incredible experience for everyone who has played, and the fact
Mhm,
that it's still getting more support looks really cool. And the last real thing for me that hasn't been covered yet is Gen Atlas, the new game from the Ico and Shadow Colossus devs.
mhm.
It just because it's always great to see what those devs are up to next.
It straight up looks like, a giant mech game, and I'm all for it. I'm all for that. Giant mech battles are fantastic. So, I'm excited about that. Uh, Speaking of which, um, there is a game that you missed that I'm actually kind of excited about, even though I don't like these kind of games. Alien Isolation 2 was announced.
That was
Alien
on my list.
Isolation was a fantastic game that is one of those, scary, tense games out there that if you are into that, you're gonna fucking love, that they made this announcement. It's not taking place in a spaceship, it's taking place on Earth, and that's terrifying in itself. Um, I'm wondering how it's gonna play. I'm wondering a lot of things, namely if I should play the first one to just, get it over with. I am terrified of even playing that game, and I'm not sure if I'm going to, but the announcement of the new game makes me want to try it, you know?
I just wish there was a way because I've seen, and this could be its own episode. I've seen demos go the way of the dodo outside of showcases like this.
Mhm.
So it would really help for gamers like us who aren't necessarily the biggest fan of the horror esque jump scare style of game to really see if the gameplay loop can help us get over those fears to actually want to give the full game a shot without
Yeah.
having to give the full price tag a spend in order to figure that out.
Well, I'm sure that they will, have demos out. A lot of games these days usually have demos come out either right after it's been announced, like, just hopping into the Nintendo Direct, or do you think we should just save that one for the end?
No, you're making a segue for the Nintendo Direct. Let's segue into the Nintendo
Let's
Direct.
segue into the Nintendo Direct. So they announced more Star Fox, and
Yup.
once they announced it, they said, "Hey, there's a demo coming out after the show is done." And it's like, "Okay,
Yep.
cool." For people like me that saw the announcement of the Star Fox remake, basically, or remaster, whatever it is,
It's
because I
basically
on
Star Fox
it's a
64 again.
right? And Star Fox 64 was a remake of the original Star Fox, wasn't it?
Was it? Because if so, that's hilarious.
'Cause they had either that or they remade it off of the Nintendo 3DS, Star
They
Fox game.
They see, all I know, and I don't know if
Mhm,
the original Star Fox falls into this pattern. I know 64 was remade on the 3DS and
mhm.
then remade again with this re-release. So 64 has been remade at least twice.
And that's wild to me, like, I get putting a new coat of paint on a nostalgic, franchise, one that resonates with you is great and all, but you gotta give me more, man, like, that justifies the price of admission for me, like, the Final Fantasy VII Remake series is a perfect example of it. Those games, originally when they came out, you got one game and it contained the entire story, right?
Yep.
Square was like, "Hey, this game is gonna be massive, so we're gonna release it in 3 separate entries. None of the games are gonna tie into each other, so you can't take your progress from one into the other," which is frankly upsetting, crazy, whatever. But the fact that they added so much stuff into each separate game
Yep.
makes the price of admission feel justified to me. They redid the music. They, added different graphics. They did different stories, different quests, different story beats. I haven't played the second one yet, but I did pick it up because it was on sale so that
Mhm.
I can so I can play through that. I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy VII, and I would have been fine if they just remastered it with better graphics, better
Yeah.
visuals, better music. I would have been happy with that. If they released the whole story on, in one game release, that would have been fine. But because they remade the whole game from the ground up, introduced new things to make it, different but similar,
Yep.
that to me is what it should have been. Like, what Star Fox, should have been is a brand new game. I don't think you need to go back, to, do the whole fresh coat of paint on these games.
Speaking of fresh coats of paint, then, what
Mhm.
about that Ocarina of Time remake stinger announcement? Do you have any hopes for that since we are on this little donut soapbox?
No, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, please.
Look, I get that there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh my god, they're remaking or they're updating my favorite Zelda game. This is the Zelda game that brought me into gaming. Oh, why is everyone so negative about these games coming out again?" Look, I am fully aware that I am one of those people that is hating on your favorite game getting a remake or a remaster. Fully aware of that. But the thing is, they didn't show us any gameplay of that game at all,
That's
even
true.
though it's coming out this year. This game was stated to come out this year, and they're not showing us any gameplay. They're just showing us a teaser trailer that's showing us, um, what looks
The
like
very first
Unreal
cutscene?
graphics. It looks like Unreal Engine graphics. It looks like they hired that guy. Like, there was a meme online forever when people were starting to, make trailers of what The Legend of Zelda could look like with better graphics, Ocarina of Time specifically. Like, they were like, in the comments section, it would be flooded with comments like, "Nintendo, hire this guy. Nintendo hired that guy." That's what they
Hmm.
did. So, I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic that things will be more than just a fresh coat of paint. Because to be honest, my favorite Legend of Zelda game is Link to the Past, not
Got it.
Ocarina of Time. That's my favorite game. If Nintendo came out and said, "Hey, we are remaking Link to the Past with that HD, 2D HD, 2.5 HD,
Art
kind
style.
of engine behind it, the art style behind it," bruh, I would be losing my shit. Same thing with Chrono Trigger, right? Those 2 games are fucking near and dear to me, and that's why I understand why people are so, like, excited for this Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. But me as an outsider that doesn't have that rose-tinted nostalgia look on this game, has more of a cautiously optimistic, but knowing that disappointment is real for this game.
Mm.
Because I did play this game. I struggled through the water temple like so many of you did. The controls were shit in that game. Horrible ass controls in that game. The game itself, the story, great. It's what all of these future Zelda games stories were based on. This was the prototype for those stories. I am excited cautiously for it.
Got
Is
it.
it gonna be a is it gonna be a day one purchase for me? Absolutely not. I will I will wait. I will watch other streamers play it because I know this game is gonna be streamed by everyone and their mother. Um, I will take a look at some gameplay, see if it looks fun, see what people think of the controls, watch it, so that I know that it's something that I would be into, and then maybe I'll buy it. But I'm not gonna be one of those day one adopters based just on nostalgia alone.
Right.
That's me.
And that's fair. Like for the Ocarina of Time remake specifically, I'm probably in a similar boat. But just and for my lens specifically, it's because I didn't really find my flow with the Zelda formula in general until Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Like, it took me
Really?
playing those games to get me to see, "Oh, this is what a Zelda-style puzzle is, how I can solve it with your typical inventory, not really needing to worry about managing it much, etcetera, etcetera." So, if I were to go back to the original Ocarina of Time now, I feel like it would probably be easier for me to manage. But back when we met in college, even younger, little Grant Brain, I'm sorry. Like, the game looked pretty. It sounded cool. I loved the yeah with all the youngling sword slices. I love that
Mhm.
to bits. But the puzzle solving got way too confusing. I had a frustration episode with the Great Deku Tree, and that was the first dungeon. That should tell you everything. Um, so modern Grant would probably be able to get through the Great Deku Tree no problem. So seeing like how the Ocarina of Time remake pans out, how it plays, if it brings with it some maybe Tears of the Kingdom style mechanics, like maybe an intrinsic jump button, like for a tiny little hop or something, to help the puzzle platforming be a little easier, to help correct yourself. Or if it is like a faithful one-to-one button remapping with a prettier coat of paint, like you said, I would need to see that as well. Knowing what the original was, how it played, and how it ended, because the internet is real, I would need to see if this is my personal gateway to experiencing the Ocarina of Time story fully for myself for the first time, outside of like internet videos and hearing my friends talk about it.
Mm. Have you played A Link to the Past?
Yes. Yes, I
Okay.
have.
Okay.
I've played A Link to the Past. I tried a demo for A Link Between Worlds, the much later released sequel to A Link to the
Mhm.
Past.
Mhm.
I know I've played Four Swords and Four Swords Adventures, like Toon Link style, Toon Link appearance, top-down Zeldas. Like
Mhm.
I know
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
way around a top-down Zelda, and I know my way around a open world Zelda. It just
Gotcha.
feels like Ocarina of Time is like that awkward stepping stone between the two, and my
Mhm.
brain at the time just could not make that jump for itself.
Gotcha. So, I think the 2 biggest announcements that were related specifically to the console of the Switch
Mhm.
were the Ocarina of Time remake,
Yep.
and then, more news on the, Star Fox one. They had a couple of other little bits, like, the Pokopia releasing seasonal
Yup.
updates and, their
Mhm.
underwater, unlocking.
Yep. In August, you'll be able to dive underwater and build stuff underwater. Because thank God I wanna build my underwater tunnel. I can finally do that without dying over and over again. And, we're gonna get 2 new towns over the course of a year and a bunch of new features. In October, we're getting a purely underwater area called Bubbly Basin, full of a bunch of water types. The second town has not been revealed yet. I've already pre-ordered it because again,
Of course you
okay,
did.
because like I said at the top, Poke Shill, proud of it.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Um, but there's one little series of announcements that I think you're purposefully forgetting to give me the room to fanboy, so I'm gonna take that now. Um, Square Enix surprised us here too, with basically the entire Kingdom Hearts series coming as native Switch 2 ports. We're getting Kingdom Hearts Collection 1 through 3, which is all of the HD collections and Kingdom Hearts 3 plus Remind. Yes, it's game key cards, but it's not going to be like cloud versions that we had with the Switch 1. And then hot on the heels of that, they decide, oh, hey, let's feed the Kingdom Hearts fans with some actual new Kingdom Hearts 4 stuff, where we get some story info revealing that Quadratum only has shaped darkness because of the outsiders that appear there, which are the likes of Sora and the mobile game characters that you see throughout the trailer. We see some gameplay of the combat. We see Donald and Goofy surrounded by blue fire for a split second. And then at the very end, we see that Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming out on Switch 2 natively the same day it's released everywhere else. We don't know what day that is yet, but we know it's coming out everywhere at the same time. So we Kingdom Hearts fans are feeling kind of vindicated because maybe 5, 6 days after Summer Games Fest, the internet was abuzz with like, oh no, Kingdom Hearts 4 is just a rumor now. And Square Enix is like, go to Nintendo. We got a surprise for you.
I still think that it is wild, absolutely wild that Square Enix would be like, "Oh, hey, we're not gonna talk about Kingdom Hearts at any other conference. We're not gonna talk at the Summer Games Fest. We're not gonna talk at Sony. We're not gonna talk at Xbox. We're gonna talk about our game on the Nintendo Direct." Wild, out of left field. And I guess that's why they did it, because everyone was talking about it as soon as it was revealed. There were people crying about it, you know?
I
It's
mean,
wild.
it really is. We fans are chomping at the bit for anything new. I remember where I was and how I cried in public. Not like blubber crying, but I did cry in public when I saw the last Smash Bros. DLC trailer and it was Sora. I was out on a walk in public doing my morning exercise and I'm like, oh my god, it's Sora. Tears. Like that's that's literally how that went. We Kingdom Hearts fans, when we get something, it always feels like we eaten good. Um Real quick though, because I mentioned I would cover this, I want to touch on the Xenoblade series really quick because 1, 2, and 3 are getting Switch 2 versions, each with their own added content, additional voice acting for the previously unvoiced cutscenes. Um, each version of each Switch 2 version available on different dates, but it's also getting a prequel story called Xenoblade Genesis launching next year. And as somebody who basically fell in love with the gameplay loop and the storytelling style of the Xenoblade series by making his way kind of through 1, then putting 1 down to play 3 because it was new, which kind of reveals a gaming pattern about me. Um, like, I am so happy that all of these games are getting the better graphics and the 60 FPS treatment with better combat features and more voice acting and stuff. And Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is getting a permanent fast travel vehicle to make moving across the giant map more tolerable instead of just on foot. But I really can't wait to see what the prequel story Genesis is all about. And then there was one other thing. Oh,
I have never played any of the Xenoblade games. I've heard fantastic things about all of them, but I've never dipped my toes in the water, as they say. Um, do you
it
know do you know if they are releasing them separately or if they are releasing them together?
oh separately. I wrote the
Of
dates
course.
down. Um, if you want the Switch 2 version of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, you can actually get the digital version right now. But if you want the physical version of it, that one's July 30th. The
Mm,
Switch 2 version of Xenoblade Chronicles 1. The digital version of Switch 2 Xenoblade Chronicles 2 comes out July 30th, overlapping with the physical of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and the physical of that game is October 1st. Meanwhile, for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, digital and physical both come out on December 3rd. So
right
throughout
in
the
time for the
year,
holidays.
yep. Throughout the year,
Wow.
we're getting the enhanced versions of the entire series. In the event
Yeah,
you haven't played them yet.
I haven't played them yet. I might be interested in playing them, because I've heard fantastic things, but like I said, so many things are coming out. So many
Yes.
games are coming out. Gamers are eating. They're eating, but they have to make choices or go into substantial credit card debt in order to get everything that they wanna play,
That
or
one
not
that one
play and add to the,
backlog of
backlog
infinite
of infinite
sadness.
sadness.
That one Family Guy song comes to mind. I've got $20,000 of credit card debt. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, the other thing I wanted to touch on really quick from the Nintendo Direct, even though there was like Rhythm Heaven Groove and a new Onimusha game, a new Fire Emblem game coming out in September,
Mhm.
um, a co-op game that I have been watching for a while called Orbitals launches on September 3rd.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
it's basically It Takes Two, but it looks like it's out of a 90s anime.
Mhm, mhm.
And I mean, I literally wrote in my notes, launches near my birthday. I know what I'm getting myself.
Now, question,
Yes.
do you know if that game is local multiplayer or online multiplayer or both?
I would imagine I know for sure it's local because if it's borrowing the It Takes Two sort of split screen style,
Mhm.
local is pretty much baked in. Um, Let me check real quick about online.
Because if it's online, I would love to collab stream with you on that.
Oh, bro, that would be perfect for us if it was.
Right?
That would be
Right?
perfect for us. Let me see. Ooh, according to Nintendo's page, online.
Let's fucking
Online
go.
possible.
Let's fucking go.
So you heard it here. Potential collab stream in the works.
Not
Anywho,
potential, it's happening. It's fucking happening. 100%. You heard it here first, folks. Um, so the Nintendo Direct had a couple of announcements that you touched on that I'm just like, why the fuck would I get this game on the Switch when I have a powerful ass PC to get it on? Namely, Kingdom Hearts 4,
uh,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, and
like,
Onimusha. Like
yeah.
these games are gonna be made tailored for the higher performing game systems. Why, like, that's why I didn't understand the announcement of it, of Kingdom Hearts 4 on the Switch, but, we just talked about it. It's because everything else was, like, taking the stage, you know?
And
If
they needed something to spice up the Kingdom Hearts collections coming to Switch 2 on the heels of Sora being in Smash.
Yeah.
Which and that makes sense to me.
Mhm,
Or at
mhm.
least it'd be an educated guess. I do not know the minds of Square Enix. I don't think anybody
Mhm.
does.
Nope.
Um, but yeah, like I think the main takeaway from a lot of the game announcements, like the Onimushas, like the Kingdom Hearts 4s, is so that players with a Switch 2 that want to experience these games can experience them with comparable graphical fidelity on the go,
Mhm,
which is
mhm.
still the Switch 2's it's still the Switch's gimmick.
Yeah.
So, like having those games on the go, unless you are one of the fortunate few to have a Steam Deck, is a pretty nice niche to have. So it's something to
Yes.
consider from that angle.
Mhm, mhm.
But if you're fortunate like us to have the powerful PC, the PlayStation 5, the Switch 2, in your case, the Steam Deck,
Mhm.
maybe Kingdom Hearts 4 on the Switch wouldn't be your personal choice.
No,
But
absolutely not.
yeah, but for those gamers who aren't as fortunate as we, they still have a good option and they can take theirs on the go.
That's
So
true. That's
They'll
true.
be they'll be able to say, "I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 4, you old man. What are you playing?"
I know, right? I'm sitting at my desk playing Kingdom Hearts 4 in better graphics. So take that, you young whippersnapper.
Yeah, back in my day, Kingdom Hearts wouldn't have been portable unless it was cruddy sprites on a Game Boy Advance. Sora couldn't turn around in 3D, God flap it.
Do you think that they're gonna release the, 1 through 3 on the PC as well?
I'm pretty sure they are. If they
Right,
don't
right.
if they don't, I'd be surprised. But then again, I also wouldn't because they also had on the PC earlier an all-in-one package, which is basically the same thing.
But they didn't have Kingdom Hearts 3 on it, did they?
I believe they did.
Did they? Fuck, I need to go look that up now.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, that was Nintendo's, and that's just covering the smallest parts of Nintendo's. We still have, like, 3 other game shows to go through,
at very, very
the
least.
very least. We had also, we talked about the Summer Game Fest.
Yes.
We have not talked about the PlayStation State of Play. We have not talked about the Xbox Game Showcase. We haven't talked too much about the, Day of the Dev or the, PC, gaming show or the Latin American Game Showcase either. We had so many game shows that were, right on the heels of each other,
Yeah.
um, which made for a very, very tiring just going through everything. We don't have a ton of time just in normal life to just go through all of the announcements, you know? Um, the
It's
biggest the
I
biggest
was
announcements Go
yes,
ahead.
biggest I was just gonna say that's part of the curse and blessing of being folks who create content around these games. We have the privilege to talk about these games and to cover them in the ways that we do, but it takes a lot of time, and sometimes just not enough time to cover everything. Like the notes I have, like I've got in-depth notes about the Summer Games Fest, Future Game Show, and the Nintendo Direct.
Mhm,
In prep for this episode, I pulled up the Latin American Games Showcase just to see what they presented. And I started clicking on links to get to Steam pages to see what their games were about. Just real quick overviews, really, just so I could
mhm.
see what was out there.
Yeah,
And I want to shout that showcase out real quick because if I had not done that digging, I would not have found a little game. Oh dear. A little game called Arceus Pure Imagination. It is a 2D platformer, momentum based, a la Sonic the Hedgehog, where the premise is you play as four artists trying to save the world from an evil force who wants to basically make sure all art goes extinct. And if that is not a conversation among the times, then I don't know what is. And as a voice
mhm.
actor who has seen multiple voice acting related strikes, a writer's strike and an actor's strike, primarily because of needing AI protections for so that artist integrity and artist voices are still maintained in like game development processes and game performance. Like that game alone speaks to me on several personal levels, and I would not have found out about it if I just didn't go digging right
Mhm.
before this recording.
Yeah.
So there are games everywhere that y'all are gonna love, and there are games everywhere that you might not. But that's the beautiful thing about video games. They're literal, especially nowadays. Like part of this entire show may have just been two dudes yelling at clouds because we grew up with the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. But these days, there is quite literally something for everyone.
Yep.
And I think that's the biggest takeaway from all these shows. There is something for everyone. And while some Pokemon fans might be psyched for Pal World and some might not, some Kingdom Hearts fans might not understand why they did this Nintendo Direct reveal, while some are just happy to get info at all. Um, there's another Kingdom Hearts like game I heard about from the Future Game Show, for example. Some of us are gonna love that, some of us might not. Um, there is literally something for everyone. that can help you get into new series or reaffirm your love for old series. You just gotta you just got to experience them. Do the digging, figure things out. There's no way you can handle every single game on your own. There
Mhm.
straight up isn't. There's not enough time, and there's actually an expo named this. There are too many games. It's there back when we were growing up, there weren't this many games. There just weren't. And,
Mhm.
you had to be either a Nintendo kid, a Sega kid, or a Sony kid when Crash came on the block. And then when Microsoft came in, Sega went out, and it was just these three.
Thanks
These
for
three
flipping me
little.
off.
I am not flipping you off because
You
that would
flipped me
require.
off before. No gang signs. No gang signs.
Fine, fine, please. I was just trying to keep with the original placements of all the fingers. Again, Grant does silly things that only match with context. Anyhow, um, they're just it now that there are so many games out there, there's something for everyone.
Yep.
And eh, I don't know what we're gonna do, Donut. Do we keep talking about our favorite announcements? Are we gonna call it here? What do you think we
We
should
ha
do?
There's still things to talk about. There's still things to talk about. Like I said, we still have the Sony conference. We still have the Xbox conference. We still have controversies to talk about. Like, did you did you hear they made, was it Crystal Dynamics? They announced that they were coming out with the remake of the first Tomb Raider game.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They used AI to
Generative
quote
AI.
yeah, they used it, quote unquote, to get their developers started and, make it easier for them to get this stuff done. They had a PR response for that question on how they used AI. A PR response, and when somebody pushed a little farther, the PR person was like, "Uh, that's all the questions we're taking at this time." More than likely, they used AI to make most of the game. More than likely.
And it's a similar controversy actually hit my favorite Blue Boys parent company, Sega, because at the Xbox showcase, I believe it was the Xbox showcase, they announced the new Crazy Taxi game that they had hinted at for forever ago. But
Mhm.
eagle eyed fans found on the Steam page that Sega had come out and said that they had also employed generative AI for some of the for the development of some of the visual elements of the game. But at least they were willing to say AI was in no way involved with the performers in the game. So at least, I don't like that it was used at all.
Mhm.
If it didn't have to be, but for my line of work specifically, at least it didn't touch the voice actors, let
I
alone
y
without our consent.
but here's the thing, Grant. AI is becoming more of a thing,
Oh
and
yeah,
more game developers are losing their jobs because of AI as well, you know? Like, it's not just, like, protecting the artist, but also the game developer that brings that artist's vision to life. Like, these skills these skills are, they're learned, they go to school for these things. They've paid, countless,
countless
hours and
thousands
and
of
and money
dollars.
to
Yeah,
learn these skills, and then to have, AI just come in and your boss to fire you because, "Oh, we found a cheaper way to do it. We're gonna use AI to do it." That's that's horrible, and I cannot support a game that uses AI taking away jobs from, the developers, the programmers, the artists, the voice actors, anything, the mocap artists as well. Like, we can't stand idly by and support these games. If I found out that Kingdom Hearts 4 used AI, I would not buy that game. If I found out Pokemon did the same thing, I would not buy that game. We have to take a stand for these things that may be small, because, oh, they used AI for a little bit of it or whatever. No, like, I feel like it doesn't have that human soul, the human sweat, the tears, the sacrifice to make these things, and I cannot stand idly by and support these things, you know? I don't know, man, like, that's an entire discussion for another episode, I think, that we should
Yeah.
have in the future,
Yeah.
um, but the other controversy that was in I wanna say it was the Summer Game Fest, was they announced a new Stellar Blade game.
They did. They did. I saw
I
that.
I never played the first Stellar Blade. I have and I've talked to you about this before, like,
Yeah.
games like Bayonetta, where they have a, female protagonist that is very alluring, scantily clad almost. Like, I feel that it takes
They have
away
very
from the cool
provocative
very,
assets.
very provocative assets, to say the least. Um, in Stellar Blade, it was the same kind of thing. The combat I heard was fantastic, just like in Bayonetta, that it was very, focused, very, good gameplay in it as well, but you had this, character
Yep.
who also had those very alluring assets, very provocative, poses, right? So I never played it, because I feel uncomfortable playing those kind of games. And maybe that's just a me thing, right? But they announced a sequel to
Yep.
that game, and same kind of thing. The character also
Yep.
very, provocative in their costuming, but the character model, the face looks very, very young, like, super, like, teenage kind of character model look,
Oh boy.
right?
See, I as soon as I
Did you
saw the fact that it was a Stellar Blade sequel,
Mhm.
I kind of switched my brain off because I did try the first Stellar Blade and I could not get into the flow of the combat for the life of me, even
Really?
switching down to the easy difficulty because a lot of what it requires it it goes back to our discussion if you remember on Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I did not make the
Yes,
title mistake this time.
you did not.
Whether you are on team block or team parry,
Mhm,
I am on team block, where the window is more forgiving, but you don't get the extra attack window in that team parry would get you.
mhm,
Stellar
mhm,
Blade, from my experience, doesn't really give you that choice. You have to get good at parrying. You have to get good at the split second block buttons. Otherwise, you just get ransacked by these huge bosses. It's
mhm,
either get good at the parry mechanics or get scrubbed over and over and over and over again at the same point. And I'm just like, no. I'm beating my head against a wall. I'm grinding on these low level enemies for an hour. And because I can't get the parry system because I need a little bit more of a forgiving window and even easy mode isn't doing it for me, I just I just can't. So as soon as I saw it was a Stellar Blade sequel, I'm like, I know I'm not getting it. Let's move on to the next game. So
that's
I
fair.
did not see how controversial the um the face to body proportions were,
Yeah,
which just makes it even more unsettling, frankly.
and game creator, was like, "Oh, that's it's not like that at all. You'll see once you play the game. The character, is more, relatable, um, and you'll be able to dress them in even more provocative clothes, or, you'll be able to dress them down." Like, the interview with the guy sounded very skeezy to me. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Um and it's weird because I don't know if it's a cultural thing or not, because people, people on the East, side, like, east part of the world, were like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with it." We have anime characters that are like that all the time, or whatever. Meanwhile, the West is like, "Whoa, hold up. This character looks mighty young to be in these kind of poses slash outfits. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't think I'd play it either way just because, like I said, I feel
Yeah.
uncomfortable playing those kind of games.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, I don't know. Th there's way too many games, way too many things to talk about. Like, God of War had a new game announced that's, talking about, Kratos' wife, Laufey. Um, there's that. There's Xbox Summer or the Xbox Showcase that had Gears of War announcements. Um, you know, uh
Until
Fable,
Dawn.
Halo, Persona 6 as well, which
Yeah.
was a huge announcement. And what was fucking hilarious to me was almost every single game that was announced on the Xbox showcase was available day 1 with Xbox Game Pass. It's like, yo, almost every game announced is available day 1 with Xbox Games Pass. Earlier this year, Xbox raised the price up on Xbox Game Pass. So it's like, look, we are giving you more value because these things are all coming on day 1 with Xbox Game Pass. Please resubscribe to Xbox Game Pass now. Like, it just felt like a meme in the making for me.
Speaking of Xbox and related memes, I guess, a headline just popped up on my phone where I'm keeping a lot of my presentation notes. As of earlier this morning, the head of Xbox Game Studios resigns ahead of massive layoffs.
Wow.
And the man held the role for just over a year. So,
Jeez.
like, who knows what's going on over at Xbox? They're
No
pushing
idea.
Game Pass. That's all we know. And
Yeah.
apparently, I'd heard this from boyfriend who had brought this up via TikTok or something.
Mhm.
Apparently, Gears of War, you had brought up Gears of War.
I did, yes.
It was actually going to be put on the state of play over a PlayStation, but the one of the it I forget the lady's name, but the lady in charge of a lot of Xbox related game stuff, at least for the presentation,
Mhm.
decided to pull it from PlayStation and add it to the Xbox Summer Showcase, and like
Interesting.
mark it as an Xbox exclusive, like trying to get Xbox exclusives back onto the market now.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense,
And
especially since they're trying to release their anniversary Xbox console,
yep,
you know? And with the way that the world is going right now, uh, physical things are getting more expensive to make.
yeah,
So, I have no idea what the price is gonna look like on that gaming system or what they're gonna have, but it's gonna be a lot more expensive than what people think. And
yeah,
yeah, that's just the way things are going right now. Um, there's a ton of things that we didn't get to cover, a ton of different, topics, games that are out there. Like Rand said at the beginning of the episode, if we missed something that you wanted us to chat about or whatever, drop it in the comments. Let us know, and we'll bring it up that next time we record. Um, well, because these are on such a delay, we will bring it up. We'll definitely talk to you in the comments about it.
yes. We'll talk to you in the comments about it. In the event there's something we missed, but just to try and go a little bit more rapid fire. Um, the Latin American Game Showcase, as I mentioned earlier, Artius Pure Imagination. I already wish listed that one. Um, Road Out is a action RPG that has dungeon exploration and top-down driving racing mechanics, like a bunch of those
Ooh,
old top-down racing arcade games. I
nice.
think that looks pretty cool. For those more for the immediate comparison I have to this one is like a Doki Doki Literature Club kind of thing in terms of interacting with your own computer's actual files. There is
Mm,
a game called Desktop Explorer where you rummage through the abandoned profiles of an old PC to unravel an inherited mystery. What secrets hide in this eerie adventure of cryptic games and outdated software? Who was using the computer and what happened to them? It's a bit of
Hmm,
a like and
mystery.
it literally looks like an old Windows 95 computer. Good old throwback. Um,
Hell yeah.
we have oh god, what is how do you say this one's name? Um, Dimwraith? Dimwraith. Dimraeth. Dimwraith.
Yeah.
It's a 1 to 8 player fantasy RPG set in a pixel world. Build your hero across 8 races, 6 classes, and it just looks like fun. Um, Ornament Tower, sort of like a top-down Zelda, actually, a co-op
Oh,
top-down
okay.
Zelda. Where because you get too close to this tower, you get turned into animals. You have to climb the tower to get your bodies back.
Mm.
And one last game from that festival specifically, I saw it Dungeons and Desserts. It is a roguelike RPG where you also manage a bakery.
You can't go wrong with that.
Nope. I mean, I figured you'd like it, Senor Donut,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Automatically wish listed right now. But yeah, man, there's a lot of cool games coming out. There's, also just Another Door is a game that I was playing that's in demo that was also announced, at the PC Game Showcase. There's still this game that's out there that's called Mariachi Legends that is game that is a Metroidvania type game that I played on stream before. Super excited about that one because it also has cooking elements in it too.
Oh my
So,
god.
yeah, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out, and like Grant said earlier, like, we as gaming fans are eating. We at the table have so much different variety to choose from. If a mainstream announcement is not your thing, then you got something on the indies that can, really bring your passion and love for gaming back. There really is something for everyone. So, regardless of what you're playing, what you're not playing, take a look out there on the indie scene because there's a lot of gems that are hidden out there that could be your possible next favorite game, you know? So,
Seriously.
I think that's our time because we are dangerously close to our hour and 20 minutes of this episode that we try to keep our programs under. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us again. I am Senor Donut, and with me, as always, is Grant Patrizio, two best friends who continue to game on and on and on our Twitch channels and also just, enjoying life as it comes. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will catch you next time.
Bye bye.